Snowpiercer, directed by Bong Joon-ho, starring Chris Evans, Jamie Bell, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris, and John Hurt. Much like the most recent film by Bong Joon-ho, Parasite, Snowpiercer also tackles themes of class warfare, social and economic injustice, and mechanisms that keep certain social constructs in place. However, those themes are not yet as refined as they would later come to be in Parasite, and while being the dominant ones still, they also leave space in the movie in Snowpiercer for other stuff. Dystopian future, a unique and creative setting, and a fair bit of action. The story starts in 2014, when, as we learn in the intro, humanity launches a chemical agent into the atmosphere designed to cool the Earth and counteract the effects of global warming. The chemical acted too well, as it turns out, freezing the planet and all life on it. The only survivors are the people who boarded a high-tech, self-sustainable train that goes around the entire Earth, with each lap taking up the entire year. The actual story then starts 17 years later in the tail section of the train. We can see that people there that are dirty, poor, hungry, often also disfigured and missing an arm or a leg. They're basically kept in place by soldiers acting on orders from the elites, occupying the front of the train. Chris Evans has had enough of that though, and he plans to create a revolution, to take control of the rear of the train, dismantle the soldiers, and then make his way towards the front in order to take control of the engine and thus the entire train, so that he can restructure the society inside. And of course it quickly turns out that, as expected, the further we go towards the front, the more rich and lavish the train cars become, with people living in luxury, seemingly having no idea of the struggle that takes place in the back. So there you have it. It's not an especially subtle metaphor, but it is quite effective. I think Bong Joon-ho navigates this imagined society with skill and grace, and he elevates the material through his direction. Because I think that the concept itself, while certainly very cool, especially in terms of visuals, does have pretty glaring holes in it that become apparent the longer you think about them. But because of the solid direction, as you're watching the film, you don't really pay attention to the flawed details, and it's easy to get swept away by the main storyline, which is engaging, well told, and well acted. Chris Evans is very good in the lead role. The rest of the cast is quite good as well, with multiple very distinct, easy to remember characters. The standout for me was Tilda Swinton. She is doing something fairly unexpected with her character, yet weirdly enough seems quite fitting in this setting. The visuals are great, and the film makes it a point to consistently keep the cameras on one side, with characters like visually moving from the left side to the right side of the screen, which is a small thing perhaps, but it makes it really easy to even subconsciously follow their journey and know what's going on. My only criticism of the film would have to do with the already mentioned small inconsistencies and the fact that the storytelling here is not as subtle and refined as in Parasite. However, I still think Snowpiercer is a very competent film in its own right. And if you can roll with the concept, I think you'll appreciate it for what it is. And that's a pretty good social commentary disguised as dystopian sci-fi.